You could tell the lawyer wrote that statement instead of the publicist because he was being a little combative.
Jay-Z released a statement, I would say almost like immediately once this happened.
The statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're gonna find out, like how I'll handle it.
Okay, y'all, let's get into this wild situation that's got the whole internet talking. Why in the world is 50 Cent out here paying court fees for the man claiming to be Jay-Z's secret son? Yeah, you heard that right. 50 is actually putting money behind this man's legal battle just so he can keep dragging Jay-Z into court. And 50 isn't being quiet about it either. He's loud, proud, and stirring the pot like only he can. Word is, 50 Cent is even putting this man whose name is Rymir Satterthwaite into his upcoming documentary that's expected to expose both Diddy and Jay-Z. So let's talk about it because things are messy and getting messier by the day. First, let's break down who Rymir is. His full name is Rymir Satterthwaite, and this guy has been saying for years, literally years, that Jay-Z is his real father.
The most overrated hip-hop star of all time.
Overrated?
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z, he would say he was overrated. Rather be overrated than underpaid.
Jay got all the trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce. No, if you don't sign, you don't give him a trophy, she ain't coming.
Because he sold his touring career to Live Nation, they got to keep him hot enough to go get their money back. So they match him up with him, put them together because he got momentum connected to his relationship with Beyonce and his record with Alicia. It makes sense. It makes sense that it's the Detroit, New York show, but it only makes sense to me because of business. It makes sense because them sold like 60 million records more than him. How you put in there like the equals? It's tough for me to say some of this. I sound like a hater, but I don't care.
This isn't some quick viral moment or a social media stunt. This claim started back when Rymir was a teenager, and he's never stopped fighting for it. In fact, he says he now has even more proof, and he's not going to let this go. So how did this all start? Well, it goes back to the early 1990s. Rymir's mom, Wanda Satterthwaite, said she had a one-night stand with Jay-Z when she was only 16 years old. Yes, that detail alone already makes things feel uncomfortable. Years later, Wanda signed a legal affidavit, basically a sworn statement, saying Jay-Z was Rymir's biological father. But here's the thing, she didn't put Jay's name on the birth certificate.
It was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped out, she was like, oh, and I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl.
So Ho wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped down, came over. I said, oh, look at this.
They about to jump you.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there, I would have had to reboot. Solange looked like she popped in that elevator like it was nothing. It was some gangster going on there. Jay couldn't do nothing, huh? What?
So what did B say, or she was just staring at you?
Nah, she came like she was ready.
She was
like
ready.
I thought something was gonna happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. She's throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond to this. You are still Beyonce. You know, she brought all of the sexy over. With that energy, jumping off, and I'm like, what the?
Instead, she wrote down another man's name because she wanted to avoid all the drama and court issues she thought would come if she named Jay-Z. So, from the very beginning, things were complicated. And what did Jay-Z do in all this? Well, pretty much nothing, at least not publicly. He's been completely silent. And here's where it starts to get strange. Jay-Z has never taken a DNA test. Not even once. According to Rymir and his godmother, they tried several times to ask Jay to take one, but Jay's team either shut them down or ignored them altogether. Lawyers even stepped in to block them from moving forward. Now, think about that for a second. If a DNA test could clear your name in 2 seconds, wouldn't you just take it and be done with it? Most people would. That's why a lot of folks are side-eyeing Jay-Z right now. If he has nothing to hide, why not just prove it and move on? It's been more than 10 years and he still hasn't done it.
This is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. He said the trauma that my wife Beyonce, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. He said this 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Joan Jane. They quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail. They get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. Finished it off by saying the court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused with a shred of evidence.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. According to Ramir's godmother, there was a time when Jay-Z was actually considering doing something about it. She says there were quiet talks behind the scenes. Jay-Z allegedly showed some interest in Ramir's music, and there were even whispers that he might help him get a record deal. Things were moving in a positive direction until Beyonce found out. According to insiders, as soon as Beyonce learned about what was happening, everything changed. Jay-Z reportedly shut it all down. No more talks. No more contact. Nothing. Cold turkey. It was like someone flipped a switch. And honestly, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. This all happened before Blue Ivy was born. Jay and Beyonce were rumored to be dealing with fertility issues back then, trying to start a family. So imagine what it would have felt like for Beyonce to suddenly hear that Jay might already have a son with another woman. That would be a major shock, not just personally, but publicly too. Let's not forget Jay-Z and Beyonce are more than just celebrities. They're a brand. Everything they do is part of their image. They've worked hard to build a picture-perfect family in the public eye. A secret child from another relationship? That could completely blow up the story they've carefully built. That could damage not just their personal lives, but their billion-dollar empire, which includes music, fashion, business deals, and more. So when people say Beyonce may have told Jay to walk away and never look back, it doesn't sound crazy. It actually sounds kind of likely, especially when you think about the timing and everything they had to lose. But not everyone is buying into that silence, especially not 50 Cent. Now, let's get into how 50 Cent got involved because, wow, he is really doing the most. If you know 50, you know he loves stirring the pot. He lives for controversy, jokes, and drama. But this time, he's not just making fun. He's getting involved in a serious way. First, he started with his usual trolling. He posted a meme of Jay-Z on a milk carton, like he was a missing person. Classic 50. The caption said, "Anybody seen Jay?" And another one added, "He's not coming outside until the heat dies down." People online were cracking up, but 50 wasn't done. He took things up a notch. Once Ramir's name started trending again, 50 didn't just laugh about it. He reportedly reached out to Ramir and offered to pay for his legal fees. Yes, he's actually giving this man the money to keep taking Jay-Z to court. That's not just throwing shade. That's full-on backing the drama. But wait, there's more. 50 Cent also plans to include Ramir in his upcoming documentary. And this isn't just some random YouTube video. This is supposed to be a full docuseries, digging deep into not just Jay-Z, but also Diddy. He wants to bring out all the secrets, receipts, and legal documents. He's trying to blow this thing wide open. And that's where it gets serious. Because now, it's not just jokes on Instagram. It's not just legal papers. It's a whole production. And when you add Ramir's story into a documentary with photos, interviews, and legal facts, it turns gossip into something that feels real. That's dangerous for Jay-Z and Beyonce. You might think this is just 50 Cent being petty, but honestly, this is strategy. He's had beef with both Jay-Z and Diddy for years. What better way to come at them than through a project that could ruin their image and expose secrets they've kept under wraps for decades? If he really gives Ramir a platform, and Ramir brings real evidence, people are going to start asking questions. And that's exactly what 50 wants. Now, let's circle back to Beyonce again, because according to sources, she is not happy about this at all. Reports say she completely lost it when she heard Ramir might be featured in 50's documentary. Not in public, of course. Beyonce always keeps it classy. But behind the scenes, she allegedly told Jay that they need to shut this down immediately. And really, can you blame her? Jay and Beyonce have spent years crafting this perfect image. They don't just post anything. Every move is carefully planned. Every outfit, every interview, every tour, it's all part of a bigger picture. A documentary like this could wreck that. If Rymir tells his full story on camera, shows letters from his mother, and gives details that line up with real dates and locations, people will believe him. Especially if Jay-Z still refuses to take a DNA test. Let's be real, this whole thing isn't just about family. It's about legacy. Beyonce has spent her life building hers. And if this documentary ends up trending worldwide with clips going viral and fans turning against Jay-Z, it's going to reflect on her too. And she's not having that. So now, Jay-Z's lawyers are trying to get ahead of things. They recently went back to court to ask the judge to shut this case down for good. Their argument was that Rymir has no legal grounds and that this whole thing is just harassment that's been going on for over 10 years. They tried to say the case had already been dismissed before and should stay that way. But guess what? The judge didn't agree. The court rejected Jay-Z's request and gave him a real deadline. Jay has to officially respond to the paternity claims by July 18. That's not just some warning. That's a serious legal order. And if Jay ignores it, the court can move forward without him. That means decisions could be made even if Jay chooses to stay silent. And that's a game changer. Jay-Z has been avoiding this fight for years. He's let his lawyers handle it, stayed quiet in public, and dodged DNA tests. But now the court is saying, no more hiding. Either he steps up and handles it, or the system will handle it without him. Meanwhile, Rymir isn't giving up. According to what he said in interviews and court papers, this isn't about fame or money. He says it's about closure. He says his mother always told him Jay-Z was his father, and he just wants to know the truth. That's what's driving him. And now, with 50 Cent backing him, giving him money and a platform, Rymir's story is louder than ever. This isn't going away quietly. It's growing and fast. So here we are. Jay-Z is facing a real deadline. Beyonce is trying to protect her image. 50 Cent is stirring up the fire. And Rymir? He's still standing strong, asking for one thing, a DNA test. It's a wild situation, and it's not over yet. What do you think Jay-Z should do? Should he take the test and put an end to it once and for all? Or stay silent and risk the courts and the public deciding for him? Let me know what y'all think, because this one's about to get even messier.